Hello, welcome to today's class. I'd like to sit upright, walk forward to the front of your chair, make sure your chair is nice and stable, feet hip width apart, toes pointing forward, solidly on the chair. Just start with sunrise circles, so just opening up through the chest, keep the arms about head height. Let's start with toe taps. Just lifting and lowering the toes. Okay, let's change that. Alternate heel raises. So here, lift the heel and lower. Just lift and lower. If you want to let the arms swing as well, you can. Whatever's comfortable for you. Single toes forward, so you're pointing forward and back. Tap, tap, tap. Forward and back. Forward and back, just tapping that toe forward. Open up into sunrise circles again. Sitting tall, think of lifting the chest, retracting the chin. Legs out to the side this time. So out, right and back, left and back, right and back, left and back. This is a batten workout. If you don't have a batten, you can use a wooden spoon, a rolling pin or a scarf twisted. Keep a little tension if you're using a scarf, just sliding the hands along the thighs to start with. If you're using a scarf, it should be taut. Take the arms a little higher. If you can, take it to shoulder height. If that's not comfortable for you, just keep the arms at whatever level is comfortable for you. Well done. Okay, keep breathing, sitting tall, chin retracted. We're going to take it to a circle, round. You don't have to be in time, just do what feels good for you. Other way. Last one, we're going to take it to a row on the right. So row, row. Last one, change sides. So you're pulling with that hand that's on the bottom. 3, 4, keep it smaller if you need to. Let's do singles and row. Pretend we're on the canal, out in the fresh air. Let's take it back to that push. And again, if that's uncomfortable on your arms, you can take it a little bit lower. Well done. So the next exercise is a scarf routine, holding your scarf in the middle if it's long, so that you've got a little bit of movement. In your right hand, we're going to start with toe taps. Just tapping the toes, just lifting and lowering the toes, in time with the music if you can. Keep the movement smaller if you need to. Sitting tall, forward on your chair so that you've got the movement. Let's start with a infinity sign, figure of 8 on the side. If you can make it nice and big and move the body, great. If not, just do what you can. Okay, left leg comes out in front and sliding the other hand the opposite way if you can. Don't worry if you've not got it the same way. Really doesn't matter, just getting the movement. If you're happy, have both arms going. Let's take it to a comb the hair. So those that aren't happy with this, if it's too much for your shoulders, just take it to a nice up and down with the hand. Up. Take it across to the other hand, circling or figure of 8. Forward and back, taking it. So as your right foot is forward, scarf's in the left hand. Don't worry if you're the opposite way round, it's not the end of the world as long as you do both sides. Just comb that hair or do your little mini bicep curl. And in a moment we're going to go to round the houses. Those that can't take it behind, just take it in front again. So forward, side, behind if you can, if not take it in front. Keep it slower if it's too much. Doesn't have to be in time with the music. Change direction. Well done. If you can't quite get it, make up your own thing. As long as it doesn't hurt, you're moving, which is the important thing. If you can keep the toes tapping, great. Let's just throw that scarf and catch. Throw the scarf and catch. Throw the scarf and catch. Take it back into your right hand. Finishing off. Follow it with your eyes, change hands. That head moving. If it feels uncomfortable or you feel dizzy, then leave that bit out, that's fine. Just throw it and catch. Throw and catch. Well done. So there's no equipment at all for this routine, it's a clapping routine. Sitting forward on your chair, so hip walk forward, feet pointing forward, chin retracted. Start with a toe tap, hands on the thighs. We're going to do a single tap, clap, so clap and twist, clap and twist. Make it as big or as small as you're comfortable with. So if you want to keep it small, that's fine. Double clap at the top. Singles. Doubles again. Take single feet out in front, so tapping those toes forward, push the waves. If you want to do that slower, that's fine too. Okay, let's take the arms by the side, one foot out and down, up and down. You can take the arms all the way up to shoulder height, that's great. Keep it that speed or take it faster. Try and make sure you're lifting the knee out to the side though. It's the whole knee that's moving, the foot just comes along with it. Beautiful, well done. If it's too much, you just keep it small. Just lose the arms or lose the legs if you wish. Tap, tap. And twist, clap. Double. Just tap it out. This is an equipmentless routine. It's a cha-cha-cha type movement. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Just lifting the heels, sitting forward on your chair. Just get that movement first. Add the arms in the same time. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. taking one foot forward, forward, back, forward. Out the opposite arm if you can, whichever arm feels good though. And again, opposite arm. Get those heels going in that 3, 2, 1 movement. Getting a little bit of work in the thighs. You take the leg out to the side, out, in. The heels. Lift the leg this time. So almost a little kick in front or a knee lift. If that's too much for you, just slide the foot forward again like we did before. And turn so you can see. Out to the side. Roll. Make sure you're taking that knee out, not just the foot. Try and keep the feet and arms going in time. 1, 2, 3. Other way again. And back. And in front. So you can kick or just slide the foot forward. Well done. So this next exercise, we're going to use the band to strengthen our biceps. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing a little more easily. But you're going to place one end of the band firmly under your feet and grab the band in your right hand in a handshake hold. So if you're going to go forward and shake somebody's hand, grab hold of that and then pull your elbow back in to the side of your body. You're going to keep this band tense with tension at all times. Let that top of that band flop out of the way. I'm going to make it on the inside so that it's out of your way to see, but wherever it's comfortable. Keeping that elbow in tight to the body. And you're going to take the thumb up towards the shoulder without moving the elbow. So we're just lifting and lowering. Keeping that elbow still. So all the movement comes from the elbow. Try and watch what's going on with your wrist. We're trying to keep that wrist nice and tight. Nice and taut. Lovely. Now, if it's too easy, you can slide your hand down the band, which makes it harder. Or, of course, pick a harder band, stronger band. If it's too difficult for you, take your hand up the band. But I want you to keep tension in the band all the time. So if you're starting from here, don't let it flop. Keep a little bit of tension the whole time and make the move smaller. You don't have to touch your shoulder. You're just going to take it as far as is comfortable. And so again, watch. It's about a movement. If I do the movement without the band, that's the movement I'm doing. There's no movement in the wrist. There's no movement in the shoulder. It's all coming from there. So just before we start, check your feet are securely on the band. You got a handshake hold, elbows in tight. A little bit of tension in the band, slow and controlled. Just lift and release, taking them towards the shoulder. Slower you do it, the harder you're going to be working and the less repetitions you'll need to do. When you've had enough, when the muscle starts to ache, give it a rest shake it out. Taking it to the other side, so exactly the same. Ensure the band is securely underneath. You're taking that handshake hold, elbows back in tight to the waist, thumb on top, wrist strong. Taking that thumb up towards the shoulder. And again, just as many as you're comfortable doing. This exercise is going to work the chest, so I want you to sit back in your chair this time so you're really nicely supported. Take the band behind the chair at about waist height. Make sure it's nice and firm, even amount of band either side. Place the band in upturned hands. Take the thumb over the top and we're going to turn the palms down so your fists are pointing forward. Take those elbows up to shoulder height. And you're going to push forward and release. Pushing forward, keeping the elbows slightly soft and coming back. Trying to have both elbows the same height. Now, if that's too difficult, slide your hands further away on the band. But remember to turn the palms down, it'll be a bit easier. If you want to make it harder, obviously you do the opposite. You take your hands closer, turn over, let the bands flop. And let's take it into a push and pull. So the band's waist height, starting with it in the palms face up. Turn the palms down so your fists are facing forward. Elbows shoulder height, pushing forward. And remember when you're doing this, if it's too easy, shorten the band. If it's too hard, you can lengthen the band and only do as many as you're comfortable doing. Make sure you're leaning back in your chair so you're fully supported at the back of the chair. And when you've had enough rest, if you want to rest for a moment and join back in, you can. Listen to your own body, do as many or as few as you're comfortable with doing. The more often you do this workout, the more you'll be able to do, the stronger you will be. Great work, just give it a bit of a shake out. So this workout is to work your thighs, to work the front of the legs. I'm going to ask you to make sure you've hip walked forward on your chair so that you've got plenty of room underneath your thighs. You need to be stable on your chair. Bring the hands down in a walking the dog hold. So you've got the tails coming out by the little fingers and the band below. Make sure your foot is really securely in that band. Take the hands down about knee height. You're going to lift the leg on its own. You're not using the band to lift the leg. You lift the leg here. And then as you pull back with the hands, you're going to push that foot away. We're going to come back in and take the leg down under its own steam. So you're not using the band to lower the leg. So it's lift, pull and push towards the floor, bring it back and down. Now, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you're going to bring the hands a little bit further down the bands towards the floor. If you want to make it easier, you're going to take the hands away from the floor on the band. So again, this way slightly. Another way you can strengthen the movement is by holding that position. So when the leg's out straight, in and down. I'm going to show you a quick side view. I'm going to switch onto my left leg so you can see what I'm doing. But with a side view, exactly the same thing. You're just lifting up by your own steam. Push and pull. Bring it back. Take it down. We're still with our right leg. Make sure that foot is securely on top of the band. We don't want it flicking up in your face. Walking the dog hold. Feet hip width apart. Pull in those abdominals and we're going to lift and push, bring it in and down. And as with all our exercises, we're going to ensure that we only do as many as we're comfortable doing. So if that leg really starts to ache, give it a rest. You can join back in. If you don't do very many, then maybe you need to make sure you come back and join us in the next workout, just to keep improving your strength, keep those muscles working well. So don't forget, when you've had enough, you rest. I'm going to do a couple more just for those who can. Anyone still going now, then I'm going to ask you to hold that leg in that position for a couple of seconds before you release. My suspicion is most of you didn't make that last hold, but wonderful if you did. Let's change sides. So exactly the same thing. Make sure that foot's secure before you start. Knee comes up on its own. You're using the push so that hands are pulling away at the same time as the leg goes away from the body. Lift, push, lift, down. Lift, push, return and down. A few more if you can. Don't forget, you stop when you've had enough. And for those that are still going, just hold it there for a couple of seconds if you can. Really get that thigh moving. I'm suspecting again most of you didn't manage that. That was really working my thighs quite hard. Well done. So the next exercise is heel raises, which works the back of the calves. I'm going to show you the standing version first, and then I will sit on the chair for those that struggle to stand up or if you're having a bad day. So if you're standing, what I'd like you to do, first time you try it, both hands are on the chair, and just lift up onto the toes and release down. As you feel stronger with this exercise, you can take away one or both hands and lift and lower. So that will be your choice. Anyone who struggles with that, I'm going to come around the front. You can do roughly the same thing, and all I'm going to ask you to do is just lift up onto your toes. So you're going to engage the muscles in the back of the calves and hold that for a few seconds and then release it down. So you can lift and hold. So you're going to pick the version that's most suitable for you. For most of you, I'd like you to at least try and stand if you're able to, standing behind the chair, holding it if you need to. Remember, only do as much as you're comfortable doing during this exercise. So we're going to come up and hold and lower and rest. Lift and hold, lower and rest. Try and keep your abdominals pulled in, your belly button back against your spine. Lift. Remember, anytime you need to stop, you're going to. I'm going to make this a little bit harder and we're going to hold it up. 3, 2, 1, slowly down and rest. And lift. 3, 2, 1 and rest. Come back up and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Next time we're going to hold. 4, 3, 2, 1 and down and rest and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1 and lower. Just singles to finish if you can. So we're going to stretch the back of the lower leg, the calf muscle. So hip walk forward in your chair. Make sure your feet are firmly on the ground. And I'm going to ask you to straighten that right leg and then pull the toes back up towards you, flexing the foot, and then slide that heel a little bit further away if you can until you feel the stretch in the back of that lower leg. And we're going to hold that for at least 8 seconds, but preferably closer to 20. If it starts to feel like it's going to cramp, then ease off. But if you can hold it longer, please do. And release. Let's take it to the other side, sliding the left leg away this time until it's straight. Pull the toes back against the body, towards the body. Extend that heel away until you feel the stretch and hold. Now this is going to help keep the mobility and flexibility in your lower body. We hold it for a longer period of time, you're going to develop the amount of mobility, the amount of flexibility in that muscle. I'm going to ask you to do that once more on each side. This time we're going to try and hold it a little bit longer if you can. So sliding the leg away, flex that foot up, extend the heel if you can, and hold. The other side, so the left leg this time slides away, flex that foot, extend the heel away. And release. I want us to stretch across the front of our chest here. So in this exercise, you need to ensure you're not lifting your rib cage. Try and keep the rib cage down. You're going to sit forward on your chest, so hip walk forward if you're not already there, and slide the hands back along your chair to wherever you start to feel the stretch in the chest. So for some of you it might be here. For some of you, you're going to reach hold of the back of the chair. Some of you might even lean slightly forward. You pick the position that's right for you, and then without lifting the chest and looking forward, I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together as if you're trying to squeeze a ball, a small ball between your shoulder blades. So you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. And we're going to hold for between 8 and 20 seconds. We're really going to help breathing. If you've got a tight chest, it should help with the breathing. Opening up through the chest area. When you've had enough, give it a rest, give it a bit of a shake out. So you're going to feel it across your chest. You're also going to potentially feel it in your shoulders and on the inside of your arms. Sitting comfortably on your chair, try and sit upright. Circle the shoulders back. And bringing your right hand up and the left hand in the opposite direction, pushing it up and down. Try and make the movement go with your breath. Taking nice, deep, long breaths, opening up the chest. I want you to grab as if you're holding a ball and keep the hands the same width apart. Move to bubble circles. Let's change direction. So we're keeping the hands below head height. Okay. Taking your right hand across. Think of clouds, change hand, other side. So cross in front of your eyes and release, other side. That is our cloud. Next time we're going to push the leaves across at the same time. Don't worry, if you're struggling with this, just stick with the clouds. Bring the hands back. Think of that ball. You'll expand and contract. Taking one hand slightly higher than the other. And to the other side. And resting your hands on your thighs. Circle the shoulders back. Bring your hands up and just wiggle your fingers. Move up and down as if you're playing a keyboard. Getting some movement in your fingers. Just sunset circles. Bringing the hands back down. Keeping your breath low, deep and strong. Well done. See you next time.